We rolling?
We're rolling.
Rolling.
Are we actually rolling?
We are rolling.
The first line
rolling.
of that was "I love Waterboy."
How rolling are we rolling? Like super duper.
We have
rolling?
several cameras and several
Are we
sound
rolling?
systems rolling right now.
Yeah.
This day Yunk Life Pod. This day Yunk Life Pod. That Yunk Life Pod. That Yunk Life Pod. That Yunk Life Pod. Living that Yunk Life, baby.
Welcome back to the Yunk Life, people.
Yunk Life!
Yunk Life!
Yunk Life.
This episode is Wild Talk about dive bar grooves. And we're going to cover both because, in fact, the people sitting next to me today are a band called Wild Talk. So we got both dive bar grooves and Wild Talk.
Okay, first question.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, no problem,
Yeah,
dude. Thank you for coming on. I think it's great. It's like, it's like our dream team of cool looking. You two look so much cooler than any of us right now.
I should also mention that they are Yunk Lifers by default in that they both work for our Waterloo branch.
Yeah,
Yes.
they came in, they got drunk, and we hired them on the spot.
As usual, you don't
Which is
choose
how we
the
hire
Yunk
everybody
Life.
in this
Yunk Life chose us.
There's a
Yunk
trend
Life
there with
chose
that, isn't
them.
there?
Yeah.
So, first question, actually, Gaz, I'm going to interrupt you because I'm in charge.
Oh, God.
What do you guys think of when I say dive bar music? What's
Dive-
the first thing that comes to mind?
Something gritty, something organic. Every time. I think like a dive bar, the environment, the setting, it's supposed to be rough around the edges. I think dive bar music, even regardless of genre at this point, it's just got to have some grit and it's got to have some human organic feel, whether that's folky acoustic guitars or that's really screaming electric guitars and heavy drums.
You're
and
right about that. It is
cigarette
across.
vocals.
It's across the board too, because I find a lot of Philly dive bars. You walk in and there's hip hop playing, which is equally as gritty.
Of course,
No
yeah.
guitars, but equally as gritty and
Yeah.
very organic and human. So
Mm-hmm.
I always
they're two
think
really good
something
words for it.
raw, something raw.
raw is a
something
good
like-
word
yeah,
for it
yeah, yeah.
too. Gaz, what were you gonna say? I see you building up over there.
I was just going to ask, where did the name Wild Talk come from? It was a very straightforward
We'll come
question.
back to that. What do you think of dive bar music? What's the dive bar music?
I mean, like, for me, it's nothing really specific. It's like, just any. I think any song that gets played in a dive bar is pretty much like just a dive
It just
bar
falls
music.
into that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could be sitting there and then all of a sudden they play Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles. I'm just like, dive bar music. I
See,
can immediately like it now.
I would not call that dive bar music. That
It
is
is,
way too.
But what warrants it to be a dive bar playlist?
Well, this
though?
is kind of what I'm asking. As we were saying, you kind of feel like it has to have a bit of grit to it and a more organic
Vanessa Carlton
feel.
isn't gritty. I think it's gritty.
All right, guys, where did the name Wild Talk come from? No, I am actually curious myself. Where did you come up with that name?
I'd actually came up with it before I moved to the UK. It was originally going to be a song title, but I just couldn't really find anything that was really, really super spectacular. But I remembered when I moved here, I had this goal. I wanted to start a new kind of rock band. I wanted to take all those old influences of like glam and Sunset Strip, but I really wanted to rejuvenate it for its next chapter.
I like
in
that.
the 2020s. And I mean, rock's a very traditional genre anyways. You always show respect to the bands that came before you. The festival headliners are a lot of legacy acts. So to kind of want to be ambitious and start this new chapter of an already beloved genre, like some people might be like, that's a bit crazy. That's a little bit of crazy talk. And I go, no, that's Wild Talk.
Wild Talk, if you will.
Yeah.
No, I like that, though. It's the evolution of something that we're already comfortable with, but bringing it into our age. And
Totally.
so that people sitting in a dive bar 30 years from now will hear that and will be the retro thing. So I kind of like that.
Seriously, yeah. 100%.
When I think of actual dive bar music, I think of like, I don't know, there was a bar in my hometown called Babe's Village Inn. And Gaz has actually been to Babe's Village Inn with me
Yes,
on
Santa
Ladies'
was
Night.
there.
That's where the babe
Yeah.
comes
No,
in.
Santa it was actually Santa on his like year off.
DJ Santa.
Yeah.
Actually his name, a DJ that dressed as Santa. It was like March when we
That's
were
sick.
there, but DJ Santa
I
was
definitely
playing.
don't think he was supposed to be dressed as Santa, but he had a big massive beard and he had his sack and everything. You know what I mean? And,
Sack.
all that kind of stuff.
Anyway, that was my first experience with a dive bar because it was in my little hometown, so it was easy, to get to. And when I think of a dive bar, that makes me think of like Lynyrd Skynyrd and like old jangly bordering country music, guitar. That's dive bar music to me. But then, as you said, and which you guys have kind of bringing to life is I always think of like glam rock. Like I think of like Bon Jovi, and I think of that era of heavy metal, which I think your band very much sounds like that, just our version of it, a newer version of it.
Cheers.
A lot of the influences like really show as well. And Mark's actually, would the word be the curator of like the Leak Street playlist? We've got a few of them. We've got like
Which
one,
I think
like you
is
said, is
available
hip
to
hop.
the public on Spotify.
It
Yeah,
is,
you
yeah.
can search it.
Look up.
Passyunk Volume 1, Passyunk Avenue Volume 1. I've got Volume 1, 2, 3. They go through different vibes from your breakfast time, your daytime lunch, your nighttime grooves.
And then there's a generic one, which we also promote at every site, which is just called Philly Dive Bar Grooves.
Yeah.
So you can find that on Spotify as well. Right after you listen to this fantastic podcast
Yes.
called The Yunk Life.
I thought we were going to break to an ad for a minute there.
I
right after
just
this ad.
I like to self-promote as much as we possibly can. I just want to remind everybody they should be liking and following us whenever they can. Right, Gaz? You told me to do that.
Click the button. Now, take your finger, pull it out of your butt, and click.
All right, and here's Jessi wrangling Gaz again. Let's go back to talking about music. So, music in Philly is a big deal. As you guys have worked for us for quite some time now. You see how passionate Philadelphians are about absolutely everything they do, especially sports and drinking and music.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk a bit about all the amazing music that's come out of Philly. Anybody that influenced you that you know is from Philadelphia, or?
Definitely. I mean, for me, first off, probably number one, group Cinderella.
Yeah.
Popped out of there in 1986. I think on their first album cover, Night Songs, they are, I think, by a government building in Philly, obviously with purple smoke and fog around it.
Yeah.
Naturally. But yeah, Cinderella, like really great Philly group. And I mean, they incorporate a lot of the stuff you talked about. Like their later records would incorporate those slide guitars and that bluesy bordering country Americana sound that I found separated them from other guys like Bon Jovi across from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Other great artists, I mean, possibly like the coolest woman who's ever lived, Joan Jett, Philly born.
Yeah, I was actually lucky enough to see Joan Jett in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's crazy.
I volunteered to be an usher just to be there to watch the show.
She had a role in the show?
Yeah.
Who was she playing?
I want to say Magenta.
No way.
I don't know.
Sense.
This was 25 years ago, guys.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I got him for free.
Awesome.
I think for me it would be CKY, Club Kill Yourself.
Yeah.
Like I remember
Camp Kill Yourself.
Camp Kill. Yeah,
Not a lot
Club
of
Kill
people
Yourself.
knew that was the actual name. But
Yeah.
CKY.
Yeah.
People discovered CK. So that's one of the first bands that I got into. I didn't know they were from Philly or from Pennsylvania or wherever. But
They were like
obviously-
around, it was like Westchester, I think, or something.
Yeah, but obviously everyone only found out about those guys after watching Jackass.
That's exactly
Yeah.
how it is for
And,
me.
you know, it's just like you go out with your friends, you hurt yourselves, you push each other's in front of trolleys and like hit each other with 2x4s.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
us
There you
after
go.
a few PBRs here.
Mm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I've got
Yeah.
distinct memories of my friend putting me in a shopping cart outside a place called Bradley's in Vineland, New Jersey, and just sending me down a hill to see how far I could get. So
I
I
have
think
a
that's
similar thing. I would be on a
universal.
skateboard and try and crash into a trash can so I could end up upside down, legs flailing in the air.
head first
Just
in the trash.
head first in a trash can.
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And,
wouldn't even plan stuff like that. I wouldn't even let my friends know that I'm about to hurt them. To be honest.
I had a friend who thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
Since I'm so small, he would think it was very funny as we were walking past a men's room. He would just push me as hard as he could into the door so I went flying into the men's room. Anyway, back to music.
yeah.
Once again, I'm going hip hop. I always go hip hop. But Boyz II Men and that whole, they're called the East Coast family. There was Belle Biv DeVoe, Boyz II Men, and then Another Bad Creation, and they're the East Coast family.
Wow.
So the Belle Biv DeVoe being Poison, they were like the grandfathers. Boyz II Men were the fathers, and then Another Bad Creation were like 15-year-old kids, maybe even younger.
Wow.
They had a song called Aisha that I'm pretty sure the lead singer was like 8 years old.
Yes.
Aisha. Are you talking
Yeah.
about that kid that sang that?
Aisha, you are the girl that I never had.
Oh, I'm thinking completely a different one.
No, this is all part of that East Coast family hip hop thing, which then, thank God, Lord Questlove emerged onto the scene, and the Roots have actually made Philly hip hop kind of international now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm always gonna go back to hip hop. I'll warn you.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I grew up on a lot of hip hop as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it was a mix of I want to say earlier on it was like West Coast, but then when I was growing up, you had a lot of East Coast kind of acts, not necessarily from Philly, but yeah, East Coast was kind of like the thing that I grew up with.
Well, Brooklyn and Philly hip hop actually have very similar cadence. Like they sound very similar.
Yeah.
So East Coast, yeah. But then I've always got a Snoop Dogg. Spot my heart with Snoop Dogg. So I don't know if I'm East Coast or West Coast. I just love hip hop.
Yeah.
But if you had to choose, which coast would you choose?
I can't. I just said.
No. Right now you have to choose.
I cannot.
No, you have to choose.
I will not go against either Mos Def or Snoop Dogg. I can't do it.
But if you.
Nope.
If there
not
was.
doing it.
If your life was on the line, $10 million, Jess, $10 million.
That's
West Coast or East Coast?
I'm just gonna keep going like I always do here. So, Gaz, did you play? Did you play music when you were a kid? Do you play any instruments or?
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I grew up playing the guitar. I started learning the guitar when I was, 12 years old.
Nice.
12.
You were in bands, obviously.
I was in bands, yeah. First song I ever learned was "Time of Your Life" by Green Day.
Yeah.
And I'm hamming up the way that I say
I like
Green
that,
Day.
actually.
Yeah.
What were the first songs you guys learned? Do you remember?
The first song.
On
I
guitar,
think actually the first song I ever learned turned out to be the first song I actually ever recorded.
Ah.
My
like your own song.
No, it was
okay.
Knock on 11's Door, Bob Dylan. But at the time, my dad had shown me. I was like 6 years old. He showed me like Appetite, and he said, "Don't tell your mom I'm playing this for you."
For the uninformed listener, Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses.
Yes, yeah. So I heard the Knock on 11's Door version, and my aunt had just passed away, and my family's a bunch of musicians, and they asked me if I could record Knock on 11's Door.
Aww.
So I did halfway through the song. So I did the first solo that Slash had done for Guns N' Roses, and then it was piano solo after, and that was really the first song I had actually like fully properly learned. So Knock on 11's Door,
mine.
Recorded it for a tribute, but yeah.
How about you? Please tell a medium story here, because mine was so lame after that story.
No.
I mean, in the Philly spirit, could beat that. My first song I learned was "I Love Rock and Roll," Joan Jett.
Love it, love it. My first song I learned on guitar was "Come As You Are" by Nirvana.
Nice.
Because
nice.
it's like 5 notes.
Yeah.
I should also mention I'm a bass player, not a guitar player.
Yeah.
So that was
You could play that song all on bass, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it was easy for me to learn. But way before that, I was, a music nerd in school. I played the flute and the oboe as well. So the first song I learned was probably
What?
Mary Had
Yeah.
a Little Lamb.
What is an oboe? What is an oboe?
That's a
An
woodwind
oboe.
instrument as well.
It is
Yeah.
a double
Yeah.
reed. And
Yeah.
my first lesson, my teacher said to me, Jess, just so you're aware, 1 in 12 professional oboe players dies of a brain aneurysm. And I was like, great, sign me up.
Yeah, and what way to make it harder than actually
Wow.
trying to blow air through like
A double reed. Yeah, it's not like
reed.
a clarinet. It's 2 reeds pressed together. They have to put all your energy into pushing that through.
Yeah,
So,
I just love the way that they put a little bit of fear mongering in there, and it was like,
They're
don't play the oboe.
weeding out the ones that they didn't want to play the oboe. They
Yeah.
just told us that story. Well, I stuck through it.
I tried playing the oboe once, man. It's really hard. It's like jacking into the Matrix. It's just like
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
God.
really hard to do.
just
That's
trying
why
to squeeze. I know, yeah.
most oboes are completely red all the time. Actually, Gaz's girlfriend plays the oboe, and she's
Yeah.
the calmest looking oboe player I've ever seen. She
I
did not look like her head
I
was going to
feel
explode.
like it would probably be easier for anybody to play the oboe if they just shoved it up their nose.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Or somewhere else.
That kind of,
You know
well,
what?
maybe. Well, I don't know if they can suck in air and then blow it out of the hole that I think you're talking about. That would be
No,
quite
I'm-
impressive. And that is TikTok content right there.
You know, I bet
I
every
think this is
member.
getting like Howard
Not
Stern
it.
content.
I bet every member of like Guns N' Roses Motley Crue would probably be really good oboe players because like if they
Oh,
could shove it
God.
up their nose,
Yeah.
like they, they've got a lot of.
There needs to be a
They've
band.
exercised it a lot.
There needs to be a band with an oboe player in it, like a heavy rock and roll band.
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys
that
should get
happens.
an oboe player.
That's actually why I started playing bass, because I really wanted to be in the jazz band, but the flute and the oboe were not part of the jazz ensemble in school. So I was like, well, I'll play the bass guitar. And then they let me in the jazz band.
Do you think that's how a lot of bass players get hired for bands? Just by going, it's like, well, I can't do anything, so I'll just play the bass.
Fuck off, guys.
That
I mean,
being
Gene
said-
Simmons, Nikki Sixx, it sounds actually
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
plausible, yeah.
Well, when I was in, I guess, 8th grade, which would be 13 years old or so, I don't know how that equates over here, but all the boys started playing guitar. So I said to myself, well, I'll play bass because eventually they're going to ask me to be their bass player. They're going to need a bass player. Nope. One of the boys switched from guitar to bass, and they still didn't ask me to be in the band.
Damn.
But I started my own. And mine was way cooler anyway.
That's the best revenge right
Yeah,
there.
they played that jangly country dive bar nonsense, whereas my band did a punk version of My Heart Will Go On.
Wait,
So-
what was the name of your first band though?
My very first band was The Downside.
The Downside.
Yeah, and our symbol was a guy's head in a vice.
Oh,
Oh my
that's
god,
dark.
that's pretty
For a
dark.
punk
yeah.
band,
Yeah, well,
that's pretty good.
I mean, the punkest we knew at that point in our lives was probably Green Day. So
Yeah. I think everybody did. What was the first bands that you guys were in? Before WildTalk?
the name of the
For
band.
WildTalk,
Yeah, the name. Yeah, what crazy band names have you got?
When I was a kid, my first band we started was the Purple Party Boys. I was like 8.
Love it.
Nice.
Wait, I want to know context. Where did that come from and why?
Please
The
say
Purple
Barney.
Party.
How
Please
old
say
were you?
Barney.
I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
To be honest, at that age, your mind's a sponge. I do not know what we absorbed from where, but like we just sat down together and we were just like, you know what? I feel called out by Purple and partying. We
Purple
we
Party,
party.
guys?
Like
What
I
was
went
it?
to your 8th birthday. Like we party.
We
Like,
party.
Yeah,
We
we
party.
got some cocaine and hookers.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we did.
And it was
8
just
years
like-
old.
And then played Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
Yeah, we did.
And we painted ourselves purple.
Yeah, and we did.
Yeah.
No, I
I
love
think-
being purple.
Oh, you know what? I have to make a correction. The Downside, we changed our name from If.
Wow.
That was
Damn.
the name of our band, If.
If.
IF, If. And then
That's-
we changed to The Downside when
Well,
we
if
realized
you're playing
nobody would
oboe, I'm
remember
playing
that.
bass.
Yeah.
What about you, Jax?
The first band that I did was actually with my brother and a few friends. They were older. So we started in school. I was the youngest one. Weirdly enough, actually, it's the same band. We were called Psycho Rhino. That was the name of my dad's band with his brother. So we thought, me and my brother, if there was any chance in hell, what was that? Snowball's chance in hell? What was
Yeah.
it? Yeah. He said that the other day, made me laugh. And yeah, if we ever did make it, then we would piss off the other 2 members that used to be in the band with my dad and the brother because we'd have the same surname. But
Did you have to sign off royalties to them?
Oh no, absolutely not. We stole a song. I'm actually going to be bringing it to WildTalk. I've stolen the song from my uncle.
Nice.
Like it's on a record, a compilation record called Yups in Flames, which is a very British thing. But yeah, we're definitely going
And
to
now
change it
if
up.
he was questioning that.
Oh no,
it's
he said go
recorded-
for it.
I was going to say it's recorded on a podcast now, so
Yeah.
if he was
Jax
questioning
is
it,
like, your
now he
move,
knows.
guys.
Yeah. yeah.
One of the
Come
first-
get me.
One of the first bands I was in was a punk band, like pop punk.
Yeah, pop.
So,
Yeah.
That was me
You know,
too.
like influenced Blink-182, Green Day.
Yeah.
And,
Those are my guys.
We had a pretty ridiculous name, which we also shortened because it was quite long. Like, it was really long. We called ourselves the end result of many generations of inbreeding.
Oh my God.
Because we like, you know, without going into too much context, like it was kind of an in-joke as to like where I grew up. But,
And the
and then we
scarf
shot-
fell on cue when you put that band's name out of there.
well, we only wrote 3. We actually never played a gig. We used to play in like my friend's shed,
Yeah.
but it was a big shed. Like so much stuff in the shed. It was pretty
Mm.
crazy. But then we
Sorry,
shortened it to the result.
Our set falls apart every week. So
Oh no!
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
our set designer? Oi,
I'm right
where
here.
are you?
It's me.
You
I'm
taking a
here.
dump?
Sitting in
hi.
the red
How you
chair.
doing?
Guys, if your band was the end result of generations of inbreeding, I
Yeah.
really pray there was like banjo in it. There was like
No.
washboard.
Yeah, my brain went to
some
deliver.
No,
and
it
I
was
was just about to
It
say
went-
delivering.
No, it was straight up just guitar, bass, and drums. We only wrote 3 songs. One of them was called "Swallow My Pride." I won't. Go, I won't. I probably shouldn't go into what
Yeah.
the context of that title is.
It was about Simba
But-
and the Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
regardless, dude, it sounds very raw. It sounds like you did things very raw.
Yeah.
In that band.
The second one we wrote was called "The Many Deaths of Kenny" because
Oh
just watched a lot of South Park. So the
Oh, I've
lyrics
been
were fun.
waiting for the moment that
Yeah.
you tried to
Yeah,
work
yeah.
South Park into this episode.
I think it's because I'm here. I think that's
Yeah.
why he
it's
does it.
you two when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
together ever. This happens. And
Hey, thank you, Jessi.
All right. I was
All right,
about
I'll
to-
jump in here if I can and maybe stop the South Park
If you
quotes
can.
for a bit.
Yeah.
The first band I was ever part of, and yes, I did play music. I also played oboe, a little bit of
Oh
flute,
my God.
You played
saxophone.
oboe too.
I did.
We
yes.
had some.
Oh, wow.
You were drum
Oh,
major
yeah.
too,
And
right?
I was
We had
drum
the
major of
sa-
the high
we had
school
the
marching
same high
band.
school career.
Yes, I was. Guitar, bass. I played bass in a band more as an adult, but our first band name in high school was the Monastery Janitors.
What?
That's
Okay,
great.
why there's got to be this.
I don't know. When I was in high school, I used to come up with just crazy names for bands or whatever, and that one stuck.
So the rule that I found whilst being in multiple bands is that you just take two random words and just stick them together.
Yeah.
Or
Mine
like
were always one word because I was in another band called Rizzo.
Rizzo. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
cool.
a character
Wow.
from
That's
Greece, though,
cool.
right?
Get out of here, the character from Greece. It's a character in a movie called Sleepers, which is a really dark movie with
Yeah,
Robert
that's
De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
he's-
who's
That's a
that in?
dark movie.
Who's the character?
Yeah, no, who was in the film you just said?
Robert. A lot of people. Brad Pitt
Robert
was
De
it?
Niro.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Yeah, I think I
The
haven't seen
Bacon,
it.
Yeah.
who's from Philly.
But it's
The
about
Kevin
a guy,
Bacon.
a bunch
Oh,
of
is it
kids
Kevin
who
Bacon?
end up in prison, and in prison they meet a kid called Rizzo.
Yeah.
So that's where we got that.
And then some,
And we actually used a sample from the movie in one of our first songs.
and then they all start playing Monopoly, and then things go wrong.
I was hoping
know.
you were going to say the rat from the Muppets.
I did get that a lot, and I would accept that. Or Midnight Cowboy. His name's Rizzo too.
Man.
Yeah, there were several things I would accept, but none of them are Grease.
The fact that you got that from Sleepers, though, I mean, that's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've always been a
yeah.
weird person.
And nobody sleeps in that film either. You don't see anybody
Very
sleeping.
misleading.
And
very
you probably
misleading.
don't sleep yourself after watching it.
No,
You're just
well,
laying there
after what those
crying.
kids go through, yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to sleep as well. You know what I mean?
So I was going to talk about Philly music just slightly more, but only in a very indirect way, because I really would just want to show off that this bandana that I have in my beautiful beehive today was actually thrown off stage by the Darkness at the Trocadero in Philadelphia.
No way.
And I caught it. Yeah.
That's pretty
So if
gnarly.
you unravel it, it says the Darkness.
That's sick. Oh, I
Yeah.
see the D right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it that?
Yeah, right there. See?
Oh wow.
Yeah, who were not a very big band in America. I mean,
No.
they got big with that one song, but again, as usual, I was probably the only person in America that was obsessed with them, and I would see them every time they came to Philly.
Yeah.
And they always had really great venues. The Trocadero is kind of like over here. You have Coco, that was like
Yeah.
an old burlesque hall.
Yeah.
And
fair.
actually, at that Darkness show, Justin Hawkins climbed all the way to the top and jumped from the top balcony into the crowd, and it was on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Oh
Man.
wow.
So if you ever see that picture, that's where this bandana
You
came
were
from.
there.
Yeah, I was there.
I always thought that
Nice.
the Darkness maybe weren't responsible for the resurgence of that type of sort of like glam, like rock kind of thing, because it existed already. But I definitely opened it up more to a
definitely
did.
bigger
Yeah.
audience, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
for
The
sure.
way that he dressed, the way that
Yeah.
he sang,
yeah.
and like it's, I didn't like him when I first heard him, to be honest.
I was
love
I was the same. Yeah.
I was
I was-
obsessed from the second I,
was
heard his voice.
so deep in that dark hole of like death metal that I was just like, if there's no screaming or like people being butchered, I'm not listening to
Well,
it.
this has often been true of you and I. Our taste in music is vastly different, but somehow, right in the middle, we both found Tool and both fell in love with the
Where
band
you
Tool.
shake hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across all the different genres of music that are out there, the one thing that really brought you and I together was Tool. And that's probably true of a lot of people because there's such an individual sound to that band.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you know, really good to make sweet love to people with.
Or angry love.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It works
I
for
don't know.
that too sometimes.
Yeah,
Or like, you know, the sad hand stuff before prom at Applebee's, you know?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
For our Canadian listeners.
We have Applebee's in America. In fact, Teo, that works for Kensington, came to Philadelphia with me one time, and I brought him to his first Applebee's, and he was like, Jess, this is the greatest place on earth. The pints are so big, and they have mozzarella sticks. I think it was before he worked here, even.
Man, I love a good Applebee's. Like, I know the whole meme of it all, but just like, it's an
got a time and a place.
institution. It's an institution of the USA.
Mhm.
They're in the neighborhood, I hear.
Who?
Isn't that their logo? We're in the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
We're in the neighborhood?
yeah,
We're in the
that was it,
neighborhood,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's quite intimidating, really, isn't it? We're in the neighborhood.
We're in your
Oh,
walls.
God, where are you? Are you behind me? No, he's in front of me. Why don't you come
Every
in?
one of their buildings should just be look like a white van with no windows.
Yeah.
Okay, stupid question. What is an Applebee's? Sorry.
Applebee's is like it's kind of the Nando's of America.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
It's
lots
like a
of chicken.
fast food sit-down
Generic,
restaurant.
yeah.
No apples?
No.
No apples,
Oh.
but you can meet the bee if you ask nicely.
Oh, really?
Is that true?
I don't think there's a bee.
I've never
Like
met
Whistling
They're-
Willies.
They're just like
Whistling Willies?
There's no
Yeah,
bee.
Whistling Willies.
Take off your socks.
Whistling Willie.
From South Park.
So I think this is probably a good
Maybe
time
it's
since
Whistling
we've
Willie.
digressed that maybe Wild Talk plays us one of their songs.
That'd be
Mm.
What,
great.
already? They're playing a song
Already?
now? How long have we been talking for?
Not long enough, apparently, Gaz.
How long have we been talking for?
We're about a half hour in or so. Right
Oh,
now.
sweet.
Wow. Okay.
So it was about a half an hour in that I thought maybe we should maybe hear some of the music of the band we invited to play music for us.
Yeah. Are we going to talk some more, though?
Yeah, maybe.
Half an hour is not enough.
Yeah, we'll let the guys play a song, then we'll come back and chat some more. How about that?
Would you guys like to come back and chat with us?
Of course, yeah.
I feel like there's more for you guys to say.
I think we can. Yeah, we can riff a bit more.
Yeah.
Do we go and play and then
Just
we
keep going right
come
now
back
and
after?
edit
Yeah.
this. I
What
was
we're gonna
trying to
do-
make it half an hour and then the song, but
What we're going to
You're
do
gonna
is
have
I'm
to
going to
edit
click
this.
my fingers and you're going to magically disappear
Okay.
and then end up in another part of the studio.
Mm.
Yes?
Okay.
How about that?
sure.
Yeah? Okay, you ready? Okay, watch this, everyone. Do you want to click with me?
Me?
Should we all click?
Oh, yeah, let's all click.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Why do
click.
we all
Yeah.
click? I thought
Ready?
Thanos is here and fucking
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
snap
Oh,
me away.
yeah. I know, yeah. You're going to disintegrate. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa, where'd this come from?
Yeah, I don't know. They just put it there.
We should sing them a song. Which song are we singing, Jay?
We'll serenade them with the first song that we put out. This one's Lipstick Kill. There's a normal version, an acoustic one. We've got a little blend for you this time. I like the taste of my name in your mouth. I like to chase on a train from the south. I ignore the girl next door while I'm kissing your neck on the bathroom floor. Forgot my coat, but you're running late. And see cross your legs and say it's for the best. And see cross your heart and swear this one's the last. With the lips that kill, I'm begging for my life. The lips that kill as we break another line. We live, we lie, just to know that we're alive. Or maybe we don't care if we die. With the lips that kill. With the lips that kill. With the lips that kill. Maybe we don't care if we die. And I like the taste of your name in my mouth. But I wish the drink and sativa weren't out. I got changed but lost a sense as we're having sex in self-defense. Oh, I found your mirror and forgot my face. And see cross your legs and say it's for the best. And see cross your heart and swear this one's the last. With the lips that kill, I'm begging for my life. The lips that kill as we break another line. We live, we lie, just to know that we're alive. Maybe we don't care if we die. With the lips that kill. With the lips that kill, I'm begging for my life. The lips that kill as we break another line. We live, we lie, just to know that we're alive. Well, maybe we don't care if we die. With the lips that kill. With the lips that kill. Oh, with the lips that kill. Maybe we don't care if we die.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa.
Well, that was pretty cool.
Teleportation in England is sick. A lot of you might not
We
know
just
that, but
invented
it's a thing
teleportation
here.
by the click of a finger.
Yeah,
You
Transport
guys-
for London just brought it in.
You guys are so much fun to watch. I absolutely
Yeah.
love that song.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I can really
Absolutely.
tell what we were talking about before, that you were bringing that like new level to, gritty glam rock. It's a new version of it.
Cheers. Thank you.
So that made me think, what did you listen to when you were growing up that brought this into your music or changed your taste in music, maybe?
Definitely. So yeah, at the start, behind every kid with cool music taste is a dad with cooler music taste. So yeah, my father, shout out, would play Van Halen, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, all that in the car when I was a kid. So I got super into that. Then as I grew up and started wanting to develop a new sound and put my own brand, I got into a lot of really modern artists that were experimenting with cool sounds. So like the 1975, Chapel Roan, that whole crowd.
Cool. And you?
For me, yeah, similar thing. Dad was like the rocker kind of guy. He had like we would have Elvis, Guns N' Roses, Queen, David Bowie's like the kind of glam kind of stuff. Those guys, flashy. Again, growing up, it was I got into pop punk. I got into like Blink 182, Good Charlotte, Sum 41, all the bands.
You can almost hear a bit of that in that song specifically. There's
Yes.
a little bit of that in there.
Yeah. So some kind of punky elements. And then again, hip hop as well. Same as you. I had like NWA, and then I was growing up with like 50 Cent coming out and Eminem and all those great guys. So a very weird mix, I like to say.
I would like to say more eclectic. I think,
Eclectic.
I think like with, growing up listening to a certain type of music, people do pigeonhole you, but they don't think that you're actually listening to a bit of everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause it is way more inspiring, isn't it? And that's probably how bands would come up with their own type of sounds. And all that kind of
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
What did you listen to growing up, Gaz?
You ready for this one?
Probably not.
Well, I mean, like I started off. Oh God, no, I listened to a lot of boy bands when I was a kid.
You're-
yeah.
That
Like,
cannot
no-
be true. You're
no,
lying.
seriously, it was like I think one of my first gigs was Boyzone.
Boys.
Wow.
Only because I went with my mother, who was a huge Boyzone fan, and nobody else would go with her. So I went, Mom, I'll go with you, and it was pretty good. You know what I mean? But then my first ever heavy metal gig that I went to on my own was Slipknot.
Yeah.
Slipknot.
So
I was
that
on
a big
my
one for
own
me.
in the stands wearing my big Mosher trousers with my Slipknot hoodie and spiky hair. And I was just watching this absolute chaos unfold on stage.
From
which
Boyzone to Slipknot.
Oh, dude,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
No, but,
No
like,
wonder he
I'm
said
pretty-
eclectic.
I'm pretty, but I prefer the term bipolar with my music. It is all over the place. Like the other day, I was listening to, I've mentioned it already, Vanessa Carlton, right? And then all of a sudden, about 2 hours later, I was listening to a very, very, very heavy death metal band called Lorna Shore. So I kind of just skip from one to the. I don't know. Does that happen to you guys?
I have that.
I'm all over
yeah.
the place.
When you say that with your concerts, my first concert I went to was the Backstreet Boys.
Nice.
Hey,
Bro,
nobody's seen the
BSB.
Backstreet Boys live
Yeah.
before.
That's
no.
pretty amazing.
It was when they kind of like reunited. And my father, again, he took me. He's not only a rock and roller, but he was a good sport. He brought me to that. But then my show after that, so that was my first ever concert. Then a few years later, I went to my first rock show ever, which same arena in Calgary. It was Kiss.
Nice.
Oh, nice,
Ooh.
man.
Very
You
good
saw
one.
the Simmons.
I saw
Yeah.
the Simmons.
Show me your best Simmons song, tongue.
For the peepers, it was pretty impressive. I mean, for the not peepers. The peepers saw it.
But then again, Backstreet Boys were quite rock and roll. Like their songs were very rock and roll.
It
Like,
had a lot.
I mean,
of,
they
like,
weren't Kiss.
no, they weren't
That's
Kiss rock and roll, but they were certainly like. I mean, that one song was just like, dun, 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 dun. That's not the one I'm
Yeah.
thinking of. What's the
Oh,
one? The
it
really
is.
famous one.
No, you just
Well,
said
it's like
something.
Michael
like-
Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking heavy. That's
Yeah,
man.
it's
It's
pretty
really
Put
heavy.
some riffs to that. Yeah.
I'm not afraid to like sort of like admit when you're a kid, you kind of just like no, don't listen to that.
Yeah.
No. You don't want to be known as like the rocker kid, sort of secretly listening to Backstreet Boys back at home in your room with headphones on.
My first concert was actually Elton John.
No way.
Elton
that's
John,
cool.
man.
Cool.
Yeah,
All of us,
yeah.
like-
Well, my dad was kind of what you would call like a studio musician, but live. So like if your bass
Mm.
player couldn't
Session
play,
musician.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
session musician, yeah, but live.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
mainly live, never on albums. Although I do think he had something to do with Tubular Bells, the one with the Exorcist song on it. Anyway, so he knew a lot of people and actually was really good friends with Elton John's manager and got us tickets at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
Taj.
Oh,
wow.
I thought you meant the Taj
Wow.
Mahal in like
No,
Taj Mahal.
No,
the
it was,
Taj Mahal.
it was a casino in Atlantic City.
Oh,
But
man.
wait,
Like,
I left
every time
an important part of the story out. He got my mom and himself tickets to go see Elton John, and I must have been 8, 10, and I sat home hugging the Elton John vinyl and crying all night because I wasn't at the show.
Which
with
record
them.
was it?
It was at the time when Sacrifice came out, so like very early 90s. Anyway, my dad obviously felt very bad about this, so got back in touch with the guy and figured out a way that now Elton John is going to call my house to talk to me. But I was 10 and I had zero patience. And while I'm waiting for Elton John to call the house, I go for a bike ride. And the rule was always I couldn't ride further than I could hear my mom yelling. But I did. And I went to the arcade and Elton John called while I was out. And I got home, and my mother had this death look on her face, and she said, "I said, what's wrong?" And she said, "I don't want to tell you because you're gonna cry." And I said, "No, tell me." And she was like, "Well, Elton John called the house," and I was like, "No, I'm gonna cry." So I cried my eyes out. My dad felt terrible, so he set it up that he got us 4 more tickets, and we went back to the show that night. And the legendary part of this story is that before he did the song Sacrifice, which I was playing in the talent show, he said this song is for Jessica.
Oh,
My
man.
favorite band
Damn
of
it,
all
Jess.
time actually dedicated a song to me on my birthday when it wasn't my birthday.
Elaborate,
Well,
please.
so my favorite band is called Fear Factory, and this is like, you know, they were really pioneering for their for like the heavy metal sort of like, you know, syncopated rhythms and like machine gun fire kind of stuff. And their old singer now, Burton, he was playing a gig in Manchester, and I went up to and I saw him in one of the local bars, Grand Central. Did you guys go to Grand Central when you went to
Grand
Manchester?
Central.
That's like the
Did
number
we?
one
Yeah.
rock and roll like bar in I took.
Yeah. You probably
We
don't
were
remember
in
it.
the Salisbury. So you remember when I took you to the Salisbury recently?
Yeah.
The pub in front of it was Grand Central. Anyway, I saw him in there and I was just like, Burton, you're playing on the 18th. That's so cool. And he's like, yeah, man, cool. And I was like, you know, it's my birthday that day. And it wasn't. It was the 18th of December. And my birthday's on the 22nd. But when I went to the gig, he literally just was really quiet. We're waiting for the next song to come on. And he goes, this next song is for my friend Gaz. It's his birthday today. And I was like, that's me. That's me. That's me. Me. He's talking about me. Not you. It's me. It's my birthday, even though it isn't. Thank you, Burton. Love you.
Amazing.
What do you
great.
what do you think defines the term rock and roll? I know this might sound like a really deep question, but like I think there's a difference. Like people think, is it the music or is it the behavior or like the look? Do you see what I mean?
want to say straight up, I want to say it's the behavior. I want to say it's the behavior. I mean, look at it, NWA are inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, you could say the
not
same
rock
thing
and roll.
about punk.
Yep.
Like, what is punk? It's a lifestyle more than it's like a style of music. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, I would even say Blind Melon was punk in a way because they were being so anti-establishment, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't have mohawks and wear metal. They were hippies, but they were still punk by doing
Well, I guess
it,
it's
you
like
know?
a combination of everything,
I'd
really,
almost
isn't
say
it?
it's more based on an attitude. I think
Yes,
rock and
yeah.
roll's based on liberation. We saw Elvis
Mhm.
liberate teen pelvises in the 50s, and we saw
You're right.
we saw Freddie Mercury liberate the LGBTQ community throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s, until today. I mean, I think no matter how you slice it, the rock and roll attitude is it's got to
Yes.
liberate you, and it's got to include everyone, because if it doesn't include and liberate everyone, then it's not rock and roll.
That's
Rock and
kind of
roll
what
be
we
dead.
say about Passyunk, too. It's
Yeah.
got to include
Yeah.
and liberate everyone, right?
Yeah.
It's about the rebellion of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, like just that rebellion and that, hey, we're changing things and doing things our own way. We're
Yeah.
plugging in electric guitars now, you know, starting with the early
Oh
part of
yeah,
rock
but
and
when
roll.
Bob
my
Dylan
God.
did that, everybody lost their shit.
Well, they did
Yeah.
indeed, but he
Everybody
played a hell of a
lost
show, didn't he?
their
Plugged in.
shit.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a show he played. So I think it's the rebelliousness of it.
Philly is very good at rebelling with things. There's a really great music scene in Philadelphia when you guys eventually get to go there, when we all go on our our class trip
When they
together
go
finally.
on tour in Philadelphia. When
Yes,
they
when,
bring
when WildTalk is on tour,
yeah,
you will see all
headlining
these
Citizens Bank. Yeah.
awesome dive bars that have music that I'm talking about.
February 30th, be there.
2026. Yes. If anybody's listening, put these guys on.
Feb 30.
And
So yeah, Philly has a really great dive bar scene, which you guys will definitely see when you eventually are on tour yourselves in Philadelphia in one
Hopefully.
of these venues. But I mean, recently, a band called the Wonder Years, which was just kind of an underground band from Philly, they started taking off. They actually played over here in London, and I went and sought them out and found them, and they apparently had already been to Passyunk Avenue. There's another huge band making their way out of Philly right now called Mount Joy. That's kind of like a jangly, folky kind of sound to it, but they're getting really big doing European tours. So tell us about your band so that we can then tell Philly dive bars to pick you guys up, because
Well-
apparently our music matches on both sides of the world.
Yeah, we came together. I think it was like a few years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe now. 3 years ago, maybe. We brought out quite a few singles now. We at first were like trying to find our feet. The first few songs were songs that Mark had written out in Calgary before he made the move to the UK. He formed the band. Eventually, I was the last one to kind of join. And we've kind of sort of found a little bit of the sound now. We've gone out with the direction of, you know, we've got all of our influences, like from glam rock, glam metal, things like that. But the same thing as what, you know, those pop punk bands kind of did out in the 90s and the 2000s was, you know, throw that pop in there. And we kind of want to do a similar thing and like reestablish a kind of glam metal thing, but, you know, with the poppiness, the catchiness, the fun vibes and stuff in a whole new era. Yeah, we're calling it glam pop. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Glam pop.
We've been running around the UK. Like we did a tour of the Midlands, I think,
Yep.
our first summer together. We went up to Manchester.
yeah,
Don't remember it
money.
super well. We were just there with like
Oh, really?
I think
We-
most stories about Manchester end that way.
A lot of the
I don't
Well,
cities-
remember it
Manchester's
super well.
got a huge music scene behind it as well. Like,
Huge,
a lot
yeah.
of
Definitely.
historical like bands came from
Yeah.
Manchester. Maybe not all similar to the music that you guys play, but it's definitely it's known for that,
Yeah.
like that and Liverpool or the North essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally. Yeah, so we did a ton of that. We played some cool venues. We did play our first out of London show was in Sheffield, and you remember there was literally no crowd. It was a Sunday night.
Yes.
Aw.
A
Yes.
Sunday
West
night in
View?
March. Yeah, West Street Live.
West Street Live.
Shout out
that's
West
it.
Street Live.
Yeah,
Great
yeah, yeah.
bartender. They tolerated us.
Yeah.
But we were playing. There was one couple wandered in though.
Yeah.
And they sat kind of at the back. They were kind of getting acquainted with each other. So we said, you know what? If we play our slow song, will you guys come up and dance? And they did.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, we did. Yeah,
Still got
that was a lovely
audience
night.
engagement, even though there
Got
was
that.
only
We
two
had our
people.
set list written out on a on the inside of a pizza box.
Please
we
tell
had
me you
a-
still own that. Did you
we
save it?
no.
That is
Oh,
we
rock and
wish
roll,
that we
though.
did.
That is
That is
we
very
wish that we
rock
right
and
did.
roll.
there. Yeah.
We wish that we still had it because it would have been very nice. You know, we're setting up like where we do a lot of our recordings now. We do it. You know, we've got a room at my place. We'll get a lot of like the guitars and that tracked there. So me and Mark will spend a lot of time together, kind of sculpting the songs. We'll go to a studio for the drums, and we've got this little room. So it would have looked absolutely lovely to have as much memorabilia for us when we first started out
from
as
the
possible.
very beginning.
I am very upset that we don't have that.
What
It's the
pizza
same
was it?
concept as
It was
every
a
time you're
Domino's.
having. What kind was it?
It was a
It
Domino's
was a
pizza.
Domino's pizza.
Even better.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you always forget to take pictures on like the best nights of your life because
Yeah.
you're so busy having fun in that moment. Why would
Yeah.
you think to? You know, same kind of thing.
We were saying that we wanted someone who would just follow us around with a camera. It's like, God, we wish that was recorded. God, we wish someone filmed
So
that.
if you want to be a stalker for a band,
Yes.
apply now.
I mean, the peepers are all watching right now. That's what
That's
we call
true.
the guys that watch the video as well as listen to the podcast. You're just a listener or you're a peeper. So the peepers have seen you and they're going to find you now.
Track us down, just not at our houses.
So
Hopefully in
what
Philly.
was what was the audition process like when Mark contacted you?
For me,
Yeah, because like I've always found it quite because back in my day, I'm gonna sound like a right old bastard now. You know, obviously, you know there wasn't like YouTube, because like a lot of people put YouTube videos out of them singing songs or like just sort of like doing covers and stuff like that. I remember just going in and just being like, "Cool, hi, yeah, this I'm gonna sing a couple of your songs," and then it just never went really well. But I don't know, what was it like for you guys?
I don't remember being dressed up. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember being dressed up for it. Maybe I was, but I knew the drummer. So me and Alex had met one night. I saw him wearing similar line to 17 again, if anyone's watched that. But saw him wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt. But yeah, saw him wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt. I knew no one there. Spoke to him. We got to speaking, talking about music. Who do I sound like? He was looking for a singer. I was looking for a drummer for some stuff that I was doing. And then eventually out of the blue, I get a call and he says, hey, like our singer's just left and we need another singer. Do you think you'd be cool coming down for an audition? I said, yeah, sure. I was like, kind of half and half about it at the time. And he said, just come down. We've got another 2 people lined up. Just come down. I'm sure you'll get it. Like, just come sing. Have some fun. Come down. Our original bassist wasn't there, but Mark was there. And we started jamming out. Dude Looks Like a Lady?
Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Yes.
This is the first time I heard this
Awesome.
man sing.
Yes, yeah. So we sang that. We've done a few other songs as well. I listened to 4 of the originals that he'd written. And my favorite song was a song called Shake, which is our second single. And I remember coming out of the tube, and I had a text message from Alex, and he was like, yeah, we canceled the other 2. You got it.
Oh,
Hey,
like that.
booked it, man.
Yeah.
Alright.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah,
Literal
so I
mic
was like,
drop.
oh, sweet.
Nice.
You didn't throw any microphones on the floor, break anything.
No,
that
I have-
kind of thing.
I have done
That
that.
would have been rock and roll.
That
Yeah,
would have been
yeah.
rock and roll.
I've done that recently, but no.
No. What's the most, like, going back to rock and roll behavior? What's the PG-13 most rock and roll thing you guys have done?
You take this one. I'll have to
Because,
try and think.
and the only reason why I'm asking is because a lot of rock and roll things happen in Passyunk. Like, just we've seen a lot of rock and roll things happen here, not just with staff, but with a lot of customers. You guys know as well, working down at Waterloo. There's some crazy shit that happens, whether it's warranted as rock and roll.
I'm
Jonathan
not
Wass
sure
over
I
that's
here.
think that's a
brand.
completely different type of genre right there.
Yeah.
Just someone playing a wok on stage, hitting themselves in the head.
There
You ever
go.
done that before?
This is your calling. You need
Well,
to start that band.
Well, it makes a good sound when you hit yourself in the head with a wok.
No.
But the fact that you already know what that sounds like.
To
really
hit
terrible.
yourself in the head with the wok, or to
Yeah.
have the wok in your head and hit the wok?
No, you hit it against your head.
Okay, that's very odd.
See?
Yeah, it is odd.
Isn't
But
that
you can make
terrifying?
music out of anything these days.
Do you see what I have to talk to every week here?
That's literal pots and pans music.
Not
I'm
every
talking
week,
about like
it's every
EDM
day.
and dance music. Pots and pans. That's literal pots and pans.
Oh yeah,
That's
well,
little
that's
pots
how,
and
that's how
pans
drummers
music right
start out,
there.
right? Just by hitting some pots and pans.
That's how it goes.
Jax, you want to tell us a bit about the song that you're going to do?
Yeah, actually, speaking of things happening down in Passyunk, this next song that we'll be doing is a song that I wrote in Passyunk.
In Passyunk.
In Leek Street, Waterloo, Passyunk Avenue. We were at a rehearsal. I was in my own head at one point. We were trying to figure out, he had a lovely bridge and a lovely chorus that he'd written. And I was like, well, what, how do we make the verses and stuff? And I was in my head at the rehearsal. We got the riff down. I kind of had like these single notes from like influences like, punk bands, Blink and Green Day and stuff, like single notes. He made it the band, make it how the band should sound. Came down to Passyunk, and I think I wrote the rest of the song in like 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
the
20
song you're going to
minutes.
play us now.
20 minutes eating a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Where's Wet and Provolone?
Is that the name of the song?
No, no.
And Provolone.
It's a
No.
love song.
Well, I mean, it's kind of poetic because every time I went down there before I started working, I would always have a cheesesteak with wit and provolone.
There you
And
go.
the song is called Deja Vu.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm going to thank you now because we're going to let you send us off today.
Yeah.
But as you can see, Gaz wants to say something. Surprise.
Mark didn't tell us his most rock and roll.
Oh,
thing.
that's
okay.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tell us the rock and
I
roll
was
thing.
hoping we could avoid that.
Well, this can be like
No.
an X-rated.
I think
this is-
deniability is very rock and roll as well. by the way.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's not
Exactly.
rock and roll if you don't tell the story. I mean, you know what stupid stories I
I
tell
will
about
say-
the dumb shit that I've done.
I will say rock and roll. Okay, go. Well, PG-13, but rock and roll. You want to have a good community, right? I think
Yeah.
the
Of
most
course, yeah.
rock and roll thing we did, we played at the Macbeth in Shoreditch.
Nice.
Okay.
The first night of our Midlands tour, send off in London.
Mhm.
We knew the
Oh, that's right.
manager, Susanna, from a different venue, who took a really good shine to us.
I remember now. I remember
Most
now.
beautiful
I
singer
remember now.
she's ever seen.
Oh wow.
We finish our set. She locks the pub doors. She says, "All right, cameras are off, boys. Let's drink." And drained every bottle in that house.
Does she still
you
work?
kidding me?
Are we supposed
We
to
don't
bleep
know.
out names and stuff here? Does she still work? there?
That's an alias.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
We've
I
already
really
done
nice.
that.
It
Well
is
done.
not
Well
that.
done. So
Yeah.
no
This
bleeping
is
necessary.
this is a
bleeping
rock
this
and
one.
roll moment that happened in the future.
It
It
hasn't
hasn't
even
happened yet.
Maybe bleep the venue name in case their
Yeah, we
chief
do
of
that. We do that all the
operations
time.
comes back.
Yeah, fair. We usually try to do
Bleeping
that.
is
but-
not rock and roll, so we're leaving it the fuck in.
Yeah.
Or just put the bleeps all in the wrong places.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that, haven't I?
Yeah, like what was it, Harry Potter but uncensored? And it was like every time they say something, it's like they bleep it. Or was it Star Wars?
I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
Something
Oh
like
no,
that.
it's probably the same. It's probably both. Yeah.
We have a Star Wars tattoo.
We
Do
do.
you?
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
have-
And we have
and
this
we have
identical
13s
13s. Yeah,
on
yeah,
our
yeah,
wrists as
yeah.
well,
On
yeah.
our, got one there. It's upside
Oh, wait,
down.
no.
Don't worry, you didn't draw a 31. Yeah.
Yeah, we have matching tattoos. The
Yeah,
first time
Star
we were
Wars
hanging
one.
out, I was like, "Yeah, that's why I got the 13." And he was like, "I've got a 13." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, and my Star Wars." And he was like, "I've got a
Yeah,
Star
yeah,
Wars."
yeah.
That's
And
what
matching
that's
tattoos.
what I remember when I first joined the band. I was like, right, yeah, I'm in a band now. So what do I need? What are the key things that you need to join a band? Right, you need long hair, you need tattoos, and you need to be really, really desirable to your audience and all that kind of stuff. And I only got as far as the tattoos, and that's pretty much it. Like,
I
Yeah.
wouldn't write yourself off about desirability. I see that Wild Talk bandana.
Oh
so-
yeah, it's not even a bandana.
So
it's a
speaking of
t-shirt.
Wild Talk,
T-shirt.
why don't we let Wild Talk play us out today?
Yeah.
But
Play us out,
as
baby.
usual, they came to us as just part of another Passyunk location, and here we all are together celebrating rock and roll this time.
Mhm.
But we never would have known each other if Passyunk didn't exist. So
No,
you don't
no.
choose the Yunk Life.
The
Yunk
Yunk
Life
Life
chooses
chooses
you.
you. Clinkety clink, clink,
Yay.
clink, clink, clinkety clink.
And now
clink,
hang
clink.
around and watch Wild Talk play another dope song.
Yeah, if you don't stick around to watch, then well, you're stupid. I
You do
Come on.
not rock.
All right. So this is the song that we wrote in Passyunk Avenue. This is going to be a new release. This one's called Deja Vu. Goddamn, I don't know what to say. I'm tired of the games and I don't wanna play. Come on, stay away from me. Can't stay away from you. I don't know what to do. Cause I'm on the edge this time. Give me another line. Put a pen right through my eye and smash my head right through the wall. I take another fall. Please don't make that call. Cause I'm going around and around again. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. I don't need a premonition. I don't care what you do. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. Cause I never wanna learn to keep away from you, yeah. Tonight is gonna be the night you start another fight. I set the stove alight and I try to take your hand. You hit me with a pen and you beat me like a man. And I say please don't say goodbye. Give me another try. And you say it's too late now. Let's see how we do this round and round and round and round again. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. I don't need a premonition, I don't care what you do. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. Cause I never wanna learn to keep away from you. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. I don't need a premonition, I don't care what you do. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. Cause I never wanna learn to keep away from you, yeah. Cause I can give you everything in the world, that you won't give back to me, everything in the world. Cause you're too blind and I'm too weak and everything in the world, that you won't give back to me, everything in the world. Cause you're too blind and I'm too weak. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. I don't need a premonition, I don't care what you do. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. Cause I never wanna learn to keep away from you. Deja Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. I don't need a premonition, I don't care what you do. Deja vu, don't tell me what to do. I don't need a premonition, I can give you everything in the world.
Everything in the world.
And you won't get back to
That
me.
you won't get back
Everything
to
in the
me. Everything in the world.
'Cause you're too blind and I'm too weak and
everything in the world.
you won't get back to
That
me.
you won't get back to me. Everything in the world.
You're too blind and I'm too weak. Deja vu, deja vu. Deja vu, deja vu. Whoa.
Wild talk. Get in here. Thank you so much for being a part of the Yunk Life. This is a perfect example of how Passyunk just breeds more and more friendships and more opportunities. And what an awesome song. Follow them on all the platforms. Follow us on all the platforms. And welcome to the Yunk Life.
Hold on. I think we should close this off in true Philly style.
Well, you're the expert. Let me know.
All right, Mark, you want to hit this one? All right. Demon, fighter of the night, man, champion of the sun. You're a master karate and friendship for everyone. Demon, demon, fighter of the night, man, champion of the sun. You're a master of karate and friendship for everyone. Wild dog, baby! Ow!
You don't choose the Yunk Life. It chooses you.
Hell yeah.
Nice one.
Pod, it's that Yunk Life pod. It's that Yunk Life pod. That Yunk Life pod. That Yunk Life pod. That Yunk Life pod.
Living that Yunk life, baby.